Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. We're going to pick two random SoulsBorne bosses. And then, what is this, the second week of June? So hopefully, this is I'm recording this a couple weeks prior. So here in the Northeast, the weather has been kind of crappy, although we have been getting some nice days lately. Maybe summer has come at this point. I don't know. Actually, you know what? We're going to hold off on that contest for a second. We're going to hold off on that. We may not be ready for that. What can we do? Now I got to think of something else on the fly here. You know what? I did that already. You know what? We're going to have a house painting contest. These two SoulsBorne bosses are going to paint two different houses of relatively the same size. And whoever finishes their house the fastest and the best will be the winner. Had to come up with that on the fly, so I'm sorry if it's not very exciting. I'm just doing the best I can here, with what I have. So, which is all I can really do on a daily basis. So, you guys got to cut me some slack here. I don't know what to tell you. All right, pretty close to 100 SoulsBorne bosses. The battlefield has been cleared, and we are ready for the first SoulsBorne boss. Dark Beast Parl from Bloodborne. I believe this is Parl's first appearance on SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. I could be wrong about that. I kind of have the list in front of me, sort of. This is the back end of the list, though. This is the back end of the list, and I do not see Parl's name anywhere else. So this is Dark Beast Parl's first appearance in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. Parl's kind of a pain in the ass, and it doesn't help that he's, a beast that's basically, I don't know if he's made out of electricity, but he's definitely surrounded by electricity. So, that's never fun in any, context. So yeah, Dark Beast Parl is a worthy choice in SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. So certainly not a boss to sneeze at, that's for sure. So we are going to take this wheel for another spin. And we are going to decide, please don't mind the dog whining in the background. My door is shut, and she probably thinks somebody's out there. Actually, somebody probably is out there, and she probably wants to get to them, but she's just going to have to wait a minute. So I don't know what to tell you. The dog's fine. I promise you. So Dark Beast Parl is going to be painting one house. That should be interesting. That's all I really got to say about that. So Dark Beast Parl on one end of the battlefield, and on the other end of the battlefield, we have Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. Ooh, boy. This is an interesting fight. Of course, as usual, I am not allowed to give you my opinion on this section of the show. I do not want another letter from my legal department. They are not very happy with me. They never are very happy with me. So, but this is an interesting fight. I think I do have an opinion one way or the other, though. Sorry. I said it again. I'm sorry. But I will save that opinion, as always, for the verdict section. For now, we will go to the contractually obligated bios. So let's have a look at Dark Beast Parl. According to the Spark Hunter badge, Dark Beast Parl might be related to or might be Archibald himself, a hunter who was mentioned who created special weapons for the Healing Church using the electricity generated by dark beasts. At some point, Parl was captured and placed in the Hypogean jail, which is obviously where you find him in the game. He's at the bottom, and that is where you fight him. Parl is an aggressive beast. He generates electricity. He is very difficult to fight, but he is somewhat fragile, surprisingly. So that's something that works in your favor. When he gets down to about 25% health, he will enter a second phase where he will become more aggressive and generate even more electricity. So that's fun. If you manage to stagger Parl, it will lose all of its electricity until it's able to recharge itself. So that's a strategy worth keeping in mind. I think I saw in the trivia that Parl is a beast that was designed solely by Miyazaki. So that's pretty cool, because I think Parl is an excellent boss design, and just a very cool boss. Very aggressive. Just an ass kicker. I mean, you look at freaking Dark Beast Parl, man, and that's the stuff of nightmares right there. Like a giant hairy beast generating electricity. Yeah, it's not really the kind of thing you really want to be crossing paths with. But Dark Beast Parl is yeah, an interesting sight to behold, that's for sure, and certainly not a boss to take lightly. I think we can all agree that Dark Beast Parl is a worthy pick, a worthy adversary in SoulsBorne battle to the death. So yeah, it's not a good day if you come across Dark Beast Parl in your normal life, but it's a good day if you come across Dark Beast Parl in SoulsBorne battle to the death and you don't have to fight him. So that's basically my opinion on that. Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. At one time, Aldrich was a cleric in the Way of White, which originated in Irithyll, the Boreal Valley, which implies that Aldrich may have been a descendant of the gods of Anor Londo. Despite his status as a man of the cloth, serving the gods, Aldrich was actually a depraved cleric who delighted in devouring humans and indulging in their last screams, which makes me wonder how he got to his position in the first place, but that's just me. Eating people became so routine for him that it bloated his body and gradually turned it into sludge, because Dark Souls. When Pontiff Sullivan rose to power in Irithyll, the Boreal Valley, Aldrich's habits may have drawn unwanted attention to Pontiff. So Pontiff may have had him exiled to the Cathedral of the Deep, which I kind of wonder how Pontiff got that power, how he was able to do so, but he found a way, so more power to him. Apparently, the Cathedral of the Deep specialized in rituals of purification from stagnant darkness, which Pontiff hoped would contain Aldrich's terrible habit. When Aldrich was posted at the cathedral, he was provided with a new steady flow of sustenance, which resulted in the Road of Sacrifices. Evangelists would be dispatched to the Road of Sacrifices, and they would tell stories of enlightenment, and then they would be sent off to Aldrich to be devoured, which that's a no-go for me, brother. After presumably decades of gorging himself on humans, Aldrich gained an extraordinary amount of power, which gave him the qualifications to link the First Flame, somehow. Since he was being prepared to become a Lord of Cinder, Aldrich was even allowed to indulge in his depravity as much as he wanted, and he was even allowed to eat children, some of them even his own. But Aldrich, to his credit, when the time came, did in fact sacrifice himself to keep the First Flame going, so good for him. But even though Aldrich was no longer around, his stay had been profound, and through devouring humans and their dark souls, the purified water around the cathedral had become corrupted, and eventually it became the Deep, an abysmal sea of rotten darkness. When Prince Lothric refused to link the First Flame, the Lords of Cinder of old were brought back to life to once again be used as fuel to prolong the Age of Flame. And Aldrich was one of the many that decided, fuck that shit. But Aldrich saw a vision of an Age of Deep that would follow the Age of Flame. And he thought that he could help facilitate that by devouring the old gods. So that's what he set out to do. He went back to the Cathedral of the Deep, and he started seeking out the old gods. He gathered an army of deacons and marched on Irithyll, and he fought with the troops of Pontiff Sullivan and squashed them, apparently. And then the two struck a deal. Apparently, Pontiff would maintain some control over Irithyll, and then Pontiff would basically serve him Gwendolyn, who would basically be... I don't know if Gwendolyn was the first god, but he would become the sacrifice to Aldrich. So when you, as the Ashen One, come across Aldrich in the game, that is exactly what Aldrich is doing. Aldrich is consuming Gwendolyn, and I did not know this when I first played the game. Some of you who have seen my playthroughs know that I played Dark Souls 2 first, and then 3, and then 1. So when I first came across Aldrich, I thought that Gwendolyn was Aldrich. Come to find out much later on that Aldrich is the sludge behind Gwendolyn, and he is actually consuming Gwendolyn when you come into the room. And basically Aldrich panics and takes control of Gwendolyn's body and then starts attacking you as Gwendolyn. So when I learned that, that was actually pretty horrifying. So I had to go back and watch that a few times. And actually, if you while you're fighting Aldrich, you can hear Gwendolyn screaming throughout the fight. So that's very interesting. Aldrich has given me many fits in the past, and I have had more than a few problems with him. My youngest son, Aiden, has beaten him in 7 tries, though, the first time he fought Aldrich. So he likes to rub that in my face every now and again. So yeah, Aldrich is certainly an interesting boss. He is quite slow, but he's very powerful in magic, and his arrow attack is just absolutely ridiculous, especially in the second phase. So yeah, Aldrich lives up to his name. He is the devourer of gods, and and as such, one would think you wouldn't want to cross paths with him. And I think that's pretty much all that you really need to know about Aldrich, devourer of gods. To be sure, this is an interesting fight between two heavyweights in the SoulsBorne universe. Aldrich is not to be taken lightly. He has very powerful magic. In the second phase, he's surrounded by fire, so that can make him very difficult. I don't know. Aldrich has a lot of tools at his disposal. Parl is aggressive, made of electricity, basically, and very fast. I think the thing that hurts Aldrich in this fight is that he's kind of slow. And really, when I think about it, I think that I don't think this fight is really as even as one might think it is. I think Parl, I don't know, but Parl, like I said earlier, Parl is fragile as well. You know what? I think Aldrich is too slow. I think Aldrich is just too slow. I think Parl will win this fight in a decisive manner. That's how I feel. A lot of moves that Aldrich does takes him a long time to execute, and Parl can probably do a lot of damage in that amount of time. So yeah, I think Dark Beast Parl wins this fight. That's how I feel. That's my final decision. I'm locking it in. That's basically what it is. So that is just my opinion. Dark Beast Parl defeats Aldrich, Devourer of Gods, and does so fairly handily, and that is just my opinion. But feel free to leave yours in the comments. And with that, yet another edition of SoulsBorne Battle to the Death draws to a close. RobertBlanchardBooks.com. If you're interested in the award-winning Roar of a Dragon series, you can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. If you'd like to hear more about them, the Rise of Dragons podcast, wherever you find your favorite podcasts. My Linktree, my Instagram, my Twitter, all Bobby's World 2110. Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the Dark Souls Remastered No Estus run. We are fighting our way through that game right now. Also in the past, it's been the Elden Ring No Crimson Flask run, the Sekiro No Healing Gourd run, the Dark Souls 3 No Estus run, the Dark Souls 3 No Level Up run. There's plenty of stuff to check out on the channel, so go back in the archives and check that stuff out if you're interested. And Mondays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what you're watching right now. SoulsBorne Battle to the Death. So all kinds of fun stuff coming up. I love and appreciate you guys. I hope everyone is doing well out there. I hope the weather is getting better out there too. It's finally starting to clear up here a little bit in upstate New York. That's the term I was looking for. Leave a like, subscribe, notifications, and all that nonsense. I hope everyone has a great week. I appreciate you guys very, very much. The love and support makes this much easier to do. When I could just be resting and taking time off, I'm just doing more of this stuff, but I love doing it because I love to entertain you guys. So that's basically what it's all about. So I appreciate it. Have a great week. Have a great month. Have a great life. Be well. Stay safe. And as always, it's Bobby's World. And you're all just living in it. See you for live, y'all. Bye. What's going on, guys? Thank you for checking out the video today. But I got a question for you. Did you know I wrote a book? Did you know I wrote 3 books? Did you know that they're all part of the same series? The Roar of a Dragon, The Treachery of a Weasel, and The Cry of a Raven. ReadersFavorite.com says that its intensity rivals that of the Game of Thrones series. Now, I personally think that's crazy, but it's not for me to judge. It's for you to judge. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com and you can check out the books right now. But wait, that's not all. All 3 books got 5-star reviews in ReadersFavorite.com. These books won the silver medal in the Literary Titan Awards. The Cry of a Raven won silver at the Global eBook Awards. So what are you waiting for? Read about Aiden's dream to become a Knight of Delmar. Read about his death and resurrection. Oops, I gave that away, didn't I? And read about his journey back home from 3,000 years in the future to stop the evil that started in Delmar. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com. You can read the first 3 chapters of each book there for free. And then, if you're interested, you can buy the books there as well. And if you've already read the books or you just want to hear more about them, you can check out the Rise of Dragons podcast. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. And in every episode, I cover a character from the book, an event from the book, my journey into writing, and everything in between. Ripley, what do you got to say about all this?
Give me a treat or I will end you.
You know she's telling you to check out the books. Go to RobertBlanchardBooks.com to check out the books or listen to the Rise of Dragons podcast if you want to hear about them. That's all I got to say, and thank you for watching this video.